So it's believed that when you Vaal Orb, there's sometimes a chance for the value to be rerolled, like a divine, and then corrupted to be like plus or minus 20%. So we'll see if that's true or not. If we check for 15s, these all have like a random 15 modifier. And I'm just doing this as a like to remember, because when we do rollover stuff, then maybe some of these will no longer have 15 and like within range. Like if it's just plus or minus 20, they'll probably go down to like 13 or whatever. But then some of these values may hit like double 15s or higher, then that would make it even better. And then 14, these are the only 14 percenters. So it's like two rows of 14 and 15. So 4 here, 5 here. And then all of these have a 13 randomly as well. So this one's probably the best helmet out of all of them. Oh, no, just no 13. There's 136 armor. So not even a 13 on this one. So it doesn't mean any of these have 13s, but to be safe, all these two rows at least have no values 13 or higher, even if it's like an armor value, so it won't show up. So if any of these get like a 13, 14, it won't be a big deal because that's within range. But then if they have 15 or higher, then that would mean that they were divined effectively before being plus or minus 20. So yeah, so all these shouldn't have anything that could hit 15, I would think, if it's only like plus or minus 20%. And that means divining it. And then obviously if it hits above 15, then the divine does occur. All right, so let's Vaal them all and see what happens. And then we'll take a look to see which ones are good, and hopefully we hit some good ones. But it's such an unlikely chance, but that means if we have like multiple double 15s, then that would be kind of insane. So it can go up to like, what, 18, I've heard? We hit 118, and that shouldn't have been possible without the divine, because this one does that shouldn't be. But again, 18 is because of light radius, so this doesn't matter. So there's none of the attributes that hit 18, so that doesn't matter. So 17, 17, but this was one of the 13 percenters. But again, it was 13. That means it shouldn't have been able to hit this. So it should probably prove that there's a divine. This one doesn't hit any higher value. This one hit a 15 int, so that's higher than before. So again, that should be positive there, and this one just requirements. So none of these hit anything crazy. Then 16, a lot of things hit 16s. Maybe that's just like a base value of the item. And then 15, these all still seem to have a 15 value. Most of them don't look to be that good. This one doesn't have 15 value. This, again, this is a 17 again. So I don't know, it looks like it divines it, at least from these two examples, and then if we look closer at the other stuff. But basically, it's unlikely, but there's a chance that maybe you can hit like double 15 plus values, and then you would have a helmet that's probably worth it quite a bit. So that's just the idea of all these I paid 1x for. So this is all 1x, but it's good for testing. Going back into the recording, I checked, and this helmet was originally 7, 11, 11, so 7 strength, 11 dex, and 11 int. And this helmet originally was 6 strength, 9 dex, and 15 or 5 int. So it looks like it just rolled over the int, or the strength, I mean. It moved the dexterity up 1%, then changed intelligence, so maybe it went to plus 20%, but then also divined the strength node, because obviously going from 6 to 17 is impossible with just 20%. And for this one, the 7, 11, 11, this was a big change. This one looks like it divined a bit more, so obviously the dexterity and strength were divined. And the intelligence may have been divined. It probably should have been divined. It was just like plus 2, so maybe it got divined to 12, so it's plus 1 and then another plus 2 from that. So yeah, I think this should prove that you can get like random divine effects as one of the Vaal effects before getting like a plus or minus 2%. And that's how you would get like an 18% mod. So I think these are probably worth like a couple divines each, maybe. I'm not sure about the 17 strength one. Maybe that's worth a couple divines. And then this one, the values aren't insane or anything. It's just the dexterity is at 16%. So maybe that'll sell for like a divine or two. This cost me like what? 36? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 6. Yeah, 36 exalts for the bases themselves. And what was like 5 to 1 or the sockets. So that's like another 7 exalts is there as well. So like 42 exalts, so 42, 43 exalts for all of this, and then maybe you can get like a couple divines if they sell. Again, they may not even sell, but if they do sell, it's pretty big profit with the price of divines, I think, being around 80. So like half a divine worth of currency to maybe get like a few divines if you're lucky. And if you're not lucky, maybe you just get all duds. But then overall, if you get like a super insane one with like a bunch of 18s, then you've definitely made back all your currency. I think it's just RNG, a mass amount of RNG, because these are very large ranges, and it's just you're divining it effectively. So whatever 15 to the third power is how many on average it's going to take to even hit one with a perfect helmet, and then rolling that to be plus or minus as well. Yeah, so I think that's about it. So just proving that the Vaal Orb does divine before corrupting and then changing the value.